What up, y'all? It's the Sports Mix. Big Kenny checking in. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe to the Sports Mix podcast on YouTube. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and on Twitter, or X now. So, I'm sure, man, by now, y'all have heard about former NBA player, former University of Maryland superstar, legend at University of Maryland, Joe Smith, the incident or the video that went viral of his wife and him having, argument because he found out that his wife has an OnlyFans page. So I just watched the interview with Joe Smith on The Morning Hustle. And first time I actually heard him speak about the incident, I saw his wife. I saw bits of the interview she did with TMZ Sports. I believe I saw that yesterday. And I know she's been making the rounds, kind of giving her 2 cents on, the viral video and, what she's been saying and what's been said about, the whole situation. So after hearing Joe talk, I actually sat and watched the video and, I feel bad for Joe Smith, in this aspect, because, I think that was a private matter. And based off what he was saying, there was a discussion they were having. And then she just started recording. So it wasn't like a live video. You know what I'm saying? She actually recorded them at some point during their discussion. And then she posted it. And of course it went viral. And so when I look at him, number one, he's saying, listen, man, I'm a private person. I don't like, putting my business out in the streets like that. I felt like this is something that I could have dealt with, me and my wife should have discussed in private, which I guess he thought that's what was happening until he realized that he's being recorded. I know she said that since the videos went viral, I think he's left the home and he hasn't been taking her calls or speaking to her at all at that time. And he reiterated that. He kind of confirmed that on the interview on The Morning Hustle, that, he hasn't spoken to her since, and that he's, really, really, really in a bad space behind the incident, behind the video. He got a little emotional talking about it. And I just feel for that brother. I had a chance meeting with Joe Smith back in 1995, right after he got drafted, number one draft pick by the Golden State Warriors. I had an opportunity to meet him at a signing event. He signed the basketball for me, he took a picture with me, and I had my oldest son, who was like 3 weeks old at the time. You know what I'm saying? So I still got that picture, and I may post that as well. But yeah, Joe, man, he just looked really, really torn up about this whole situation because, like he said, it's something that he felt like should have been discussed privately between him and his wife. And he also said that it wasn't the fact that his wife had an OnlyFans page, which caused the argument, that she has an OnlyFans page. But he felt like he shouldn't have been the last person to know. Like he felt like as a husband, that's something that they should have discussed. Whether or not he would agree with it or approved of it or not is a whole different matter. And I tend to agree, you know what I'm saying? And so regardless to what her history was, that she had a history with adult films at some point, he said that was something that she was not doing when they met. When they met, she was into music. She was trying to get her music career off. And he said that that's something he found out in the course of them dating that she had a past in adult films and whatnot. And from I guess from just listening to what he was saying, that was something in the past, that wasn't something that was going to be a problem moving forward in their relationship. He was clear that he still loves her. You know what I mean? He loves his wife. He's just not in a good space right now, and you know, doesn't just not ready to have a discussion with her at this time. With respect to the wife, you know, um, she said a lot of things about the situation. Um, she made the statement of, well, he knew who I was when he met me, or when we, before we got married, or whatever the case. And all that's fine and dandy, but when you married, when you even if you're just in a committed relationship, communication is key, man. You have to communicate and have understanding of one another. You know what I'm saying? And I think that got lost in whatever the case may be. Now, she's saying that they was having some financial problems or whatever, and she felt like she had to do what she had to do. Again, everybody's situation is different. You do what you have to do for yourself and for your family. I get that. But to make this moment, a viral moment, you know what I'm saying, where you know what I'm saying, is bringing negative it's just bringing a negative spin, to Joe, man. It's bringing negative publicity to him, man. And he said he's a private person, that he likes to keep his private matters private. Public. He was a professional basketball player, so yeah, that part of his life is public, and I respect that. You know what I'm saying? That's one thing, as fans of sports. We tend to forget sometimes that these guys are human. We treat them almost like they robots, and we don't have really respect for any privacy that they may have or want. And a lot of times, so much of their life is public. We feel like we have the need to know, or have the right to know everything that's going on. So I think, the fact that, number one, they having a private discussion, which, couples have discussions all the time, and discussions and you going back and forth. It's just something to do all the time. But to see that it was recorded, and then not only recorded, and then it was published, it was put out for the world to see. And now it went viral. It was, what I'm saying, it was viral. It was a big discussion. It was discussed on, TV shows, radio shows. What I'm saying? It was discussed in a lot of places. And, I'm just looking at him in the interview with the Morning Hustle, man. He definitely did not look like, something that he wanted to be public. And now he has to go deal with it. You know what I'm saying? I just hope that for his sake, man, that for whatever he's going through, if he's having financial problems, if he's having problems with his mental health, which he talked about, dealing with some depression and things like that, that, he deal with himself and not allow, everything that's going on in the public right now to take him to a place where he doesn't want to go or doesn't want to be. Mental health is a serious thing. I know it's being talked a lot about now, in communities where it was never really discussed, the African American community, in sports and entertainment. You're starting to see a lot more people talk about mental health in a way that you never had before. And so I would implore Joe, man, to really, take time to, work on you and really take care of yourself, man. Don't feel the need to run to, every TV show, every podcast or whatever. Don't have to answer your phone to do interview requests at this time to kind of discuss the situation. It's just tough, man, for a person who, like he said, he tries to live his life in a private way. He tries to stay private, try to keep his private matters private, and not really have to put them out in the public like this. And so for him to have to deal with this thing, now. I think it's unfortunate. I think it's sad, really. So the wife is kind of saying that he won't speak to me. He's not taking my calls at this time. You know what I'm saying? And um, trying to justify her actions because there was a need, and that possibly he wasn't stepping up to the plate to take care of certain things. So she did what she had to do. Doing what you had to do is one thing, but publicly humiliating the person that you love, you so-called love, is a whole nother thing. And so I'm just hopeful, man, for his sake. I was a fan of his. Say I had a chance meeting with him. He seemed like a really genuine guy. At that time when I met him, he was really, playing with my son, and my son was only 3 weeks old, so he don't really remember that. But he was good with my son, and so I'm just hopeful, man, that whatever supports, and he says family's been real supportive of him right now, and he has a circle of people that's been real supportive of him through this ordeal. I just hope that he leans on that support system, that he showered with the love that he needs at this time, man, to get through this situation. So, I just wanted to say, man, that I'm hopeful, man, for Joe, man, that you don't this doesn't take you down a rabbit hole of depression and sadness, and that you're able to come to a place of wholeness and just work through this situation, man, and whatever happens between you and your wife, I just hope that y'all do that in a private way, that it don't become a public spectacle, that because I feel like that could be part of the ploy, you know what I mean, to kind of bring that attention, which is probably going to get the OnlyFans some looks. You know what I'm saying? It's going to get some attention to the OnlyFans thing, but I hope that the solutions to whatever problem that you and your wife have, or whatever situation you and your wife have, are done in private, and that you, Joe Smith, and this is speaking directly to Joe. I'm sure he's gonna be watching the Sports Mix podcast. So, Joe, this goes out to you, man. My heart, my prayers are with you. I pray, God, that you just get what you need. You know what I'm saying, to help yourself, man, and get yourself through the situation. That sometimes you got to go through some things to get to that place, to wherever it is you're trying to get to. So, I want to wish you luck with your Joe Smith Basketball Academy and anything that you got going on, man. And you got a fan and a supporter here from the Sports Mix podcast. Much respect to you. Godspeed, man. Peace.